Kezia Gill.
Actually, sometimes it's just nice saying, no, I'm an adult, this is my house, and I'm not getting dressed. Yes.
And I'm Jade Helliwell.
Sure, I'm just like, that's proper music, like.
And you're listening to Do You Know Any Oasis? A podcast about two women trying to make an independent career in the music industry.
I know you write your own songs and everything, love, and they're good and everything, but do you know any Oasis? Final episode.
This is the end.
Final countdown.
Oh, it's been fun, hasn't it?
It's been fun.
I think because we talked about it for so long, and then it's been a bit of a process putting it all together. But now we're sat here recording the last one.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Me too.
Just hope you guys have.
I know, you need to let us know, like, are you like, that was fun, but please never again? Or are you like, do more? Because if you are, like, we would definitely do more.
Oh, it's just, to be fair, it's an excuse to drink midweek.
Oh, always. Any excuse to crack the jammers on a Wednesday. You know what, though? Screw that. We're full of grown women. If we want to drink on a Wednesday at 11 a.m, we'll drink on a Wednesday at 11 a.m.
I'm going to click to that. Clicking.
Me and Luke sometimes will do something. I'll be like, piece of chocolate, but I hadn't really eaten my breakfast yet. And they'll be like, we're adults. I'm like, yeah, we're adults. So I'll have a bit of chocky or like, just shit that you won't let your kids do.
I saw a meme the other day, and it was like two adults, and they just sat like playing on the PlayStation or something, and they've got like a pizza box and like tubes of Pringles and stuff, and the curtains are drawn, and it's like, at what point did someone leave us unattended? And I feel like I think the kid in you always stays there, but you think, I've got to pay the bills, I've got to do that. But actually, sometimes it's just nice saying, no, I'm an adult, this is my house, and I'm not getting dressed.
Yeah. But I have like things that used to wind me up about my mum, I now do. So like me and Luke well stayed, as we know, I stayed at my mum's for much longer than I should. So I say wind me up, that's quite intense. I love you really, Dee. But like the washing up situation was my thing at my mum's. So if me and Luke always, we eat late, like we don't have us tea till like 8-9 o'clock, because musicians body clock, do you know what I mean? So that's tea time for us. So we'd have us tea around that time, and then we'd wash up, and then I'd put my plates on the drainage board to just drain a little bit and then dry them later. But no, not on Donna's watch. Donna's is wash your plate, straight away dry, put away.
My issue with that is tea towel fibres.
Thank you. So she used to get fuming. So we'd have to like do it because we're living in their house. So I'd be like, minute I moved in, I was like, I'm never doing it. I'm leaving my stuff at time. I'm never leaving plates outside. Well, I am my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll leave them for literally like, I might go upstairs, have a shower, then I'm back down. I want it dried, I want it put away. And I found myself doing the same reaction. So say my mum would clean house, she'd go out, come back. My dad had left a plate outside. It'd be, I've literally watched me clean plates outside. I'm now my mum. I come home and I go in the kitchen and I'll say, have you no decency? You've watched me clean this kitchen this morning and you've a plate on side.
I think it's really funny when people say to me quite a lot, after you've done a big show or a big tour or you've had like a big event, something big has happened. People say to me, oh, you're so grounded. Or you really, you remember where you're from. And I think I have too much to do for me to get big-headed. Yeah. Because it's like C2C weekend, incredible weekend, played the Radio 2 stage, I was presenting in the main arena, like dream come true stuff. Got home the next day and I was like, I've got to wash all these outfits. Yeah. I've got to wash, I've got to unpack, I've got to put all the guitar cases back in the loft. And then you've got just the day-to-day grind of stuff. Like we're doing a bit of building work at the minute, it's dust everywhere. So you think, I'm out there with my dusting rag, and then you think, I really must change the bed in, and you think, there's fake tan on that pillowcase. And it's just it's the normality, isn't it? And I think we're so lucky we get to go out and do these like mega star shows.
I'm telling you.
Do you think like Dolly Parton still runs the background?
No, like I remember my release day, I saw my mate Rachel, she said, what have you done? Release day, happy release day, how have you celebrated? I said, I bought a new cleaner for the toilet. I said, so while I'd basically put out a stream now and then I'd made down bog, giving it a good scrub, seeing how much I liked my new cleaning products. And she was like, wow, like that's the reality of independence releasing music.
Do you want to know a fun fact about me?
Always.
Where Luke Combs brought out that song, if I wasn't doing this, I'd still be doing this. Yeah. Right. Meaning if he wasn't world touring musician, he'd still be a musician. If I wasn't a musician, I would have a cleaning business.
This is so weird because one of my questions was going to be, if you weren't in music, what would you be doing?
Well, preempted it, you see.
Yeah. Cleaning.
I love cleaning so much. It was genuinely something I thought about doing when music was struggling a bit, or when I was like just in the pubs all the time. And it's a very antisocial job. So like we've talked about in previous episodes, you're away all weekend, any kind of holiday, Christmas, Easter, things like St. Patrick's Day, you know, I would always be out. Never got any real quality family time because, you know, they'll be like, oh, we're having a barbecue on Saturday. It's meant to be nice.
I'll call up, but I can't drink. I'll have to leave at 5.
Do you know what I mean? I got a gig in Wigan.
Yeah.
Love you, Wigan. But, we're talking to you, Siri.
Pipe down.
Pipe down, Siri.
Passionate about Wigan.
But, yeah, so I actually thought about like sort of sacking it all in and just starting like a little cleaning fairies business.
Really?
Yeah, I thought my minimum
I like cleaning
could do
talk.
Well,
No, I like
again, I've thought
trick.
about getting a little side hustle, little clean TikTok channel, and like because I clean to alleviate stress, and when I feel like my mind's overflowing with stuff, nothing soothes me more than just polishing the mirror.
That's mad.
Because suddenly my brain is concentrating on getting rid of the streaks and those stubborn toothpaste marks, and I'm suddenly then not thinking about what were bothering me, and I have that immense satisfaction when I stand back and look at the streak smear free mirror. That's and I think I feel better now, and it kind of dissipates the anxiety. It's a thing, I'm telling you, it's a thing.
I've had it before, like you say, like being stressed. Like I had some news at Christmas I was upset about, and then I didn't know what to do, so I just looked at me. She was like, are you going to stop? I was like, get these, just not cleaning, but like get my stuff out, dry again and fold, put them away, put these plates away. And weirdly, when I hate ironing, like literally I moved in that house over a year ago, I ain't plugged an iron in once. Does not exist in that house. I hate it. But when my grandma was in hospital and like she was really poorly, my mum and dad were just at the hospital constantly for a few days, and I didn't know what to do to help because I couldn't visit, and I just felt like there was nothing I could do. Weirdly, I ironed every item in the house. Everything. Constantly to the point, Mum were like, please stop ironing. Nowhere to put stuff. Stop the ironing.
It'd be interesting.
Piles and piles.
It'd be so interesting to hear if any of you guys out there like have this thing. But for me, I find it so common. Some people hate cleaning.
I like cleaning to the point, like I like, you know, that end result of being like, what a pleasant.
Show,
and you know,
babe.
when you know it's done, you light the candle. You know what I mean? Cleaning complete.
Never a
Get
truer
the
word has
cinnamon
been
burning.
said. That is so true. The last thing you do, flick
Light
that
your
candle
candle,
on.
sit back, done.
Yeah.
But I don't crave it. I think because I actually cleaned in hospitals for years.
Yes, you
From
did.
being 16. So it wasn't a bad little job, you know. I had a laugh, but
No stress.
well, see, it stressed me out in other ways, like, and especially now, like I've worked for myself since 2017. I couldn't go back to working for someone else. No chance.
Well, this is the thing.
Do you know what
I think when you've
thinking,
been,
can I have a piss?
Yeah, when you've been self-employed for so long, and it's really nice actually because Lloyd and I, we've just booked a little holiday. I'm just going to have a little getaway, and even though it looks like I go away all the time because a lot of my work is abroad, so I'll travel for shows and stuff, and sometimes Lloyd will come with me, but you can't beat just a holiday.
Oh, aye.
No guitar, no tracks, no outfits, just a holiday. And I can't wait for it. But because we're both self-employed, we were just like, let's just pick a week.
Yeah.
Before the kids
You're
break
not having
up.
to work around.
It's about a grand cheaper.
Yeah. Your allocation. I don't know it.
Listen, I feel bad for anyone that has to go away in summer holidays. Not just because of the price, but because you've got to go on holiday with everyone else's kids.
Honestly, me and Luke, I sound like such a miserable get, but last year, we went on holiday and we paid for an adults only hotel.
It's the way to go.
Oh, we're great.
No disrespect. I love,
yeah.
You know, children.
And you know what the thing is, like, if they're the kids that are within my group and I see anyone staring at me when they're loud, I'm ready for fight. I'm thinking, the kids, back off, what do you want? But anyone else's kids, I'm like, wish that kid had stopped screaming, I'm hungover.
Back in the day when we were kids, I don't know about your parents, but we went away in the holidays. We had to usually take a bit of homework with us. It wasn't really a
I
thing.
really remember. Most
It
of my
probably
holidays
still
were
was
like,
illegal, but
we loved
we don't want
Torquay
bothered.
for a week.
Torquay? I don't think I've ever been to Torquay.
Oh, I loved it. That's when I first started singing, Torquay.
Yes,
Coach House.
competition.
I would up.
See, we were quite
Cassette.
fortunate because my dad was in the same line of work as me.
Yeah.
He would get what they call summer seasons. So we did Corfu, we did Majorca, and in between we'd always go Benny. Loved a bit of
That's
Benny.
where you love were born.
One of the first competition trophies I've got is from Benidorm.
Stop.
And I've got in my office back home, which is where I do all like my recording. I've got all my guitars on the wall and everything I'm proud of. I've got a shelf and that trophy is still up
fantastic.
there. And the bar isn't even there anymore. Every time we go, it's just closed down. But it was called John and Joseph's. JJ's. JJ's for short. And yeah, I've still got that trophy very proudly. But yeah, I just think having a holiday in the diary and say being self-employed, we can look forward to it. But I know still I'll have my phone every day, checking my emails, checking my socials, checking my stats. Because when you work for yourself, it is like, you don't ever really switch off, do you?
Yeah. And when you do, you feel guilty about it.
Oh, God.
And the guilt gives you stress, and then you have to go home and clean.
Right, we've got a few questions for each other, haven't we? Look at you on the wine again.
Of course.
We've got to thank Jam Shed for unofficially sponsoring this podcast. I mean, I say unofficial; they don't sponsor it, but we've ploughed a few bottles through it.
We have ploughed a few bottles, and they actually sent us these really nice glasses, which you'll see more of. In fact, you probably have seen them by the point this episode comes out with Jess and Demi for the Girls' Night In tour. They so kindly sent us a shit ton of wine. And then these glasses, I was like, that's the kind of sponsorship I'm talking about.
With a little handle, and they say Jam Shed
cute.
on them. And yeah, I mean, why are we not drinking wine by the jar?
Yeah, I'll have a pint of wine. So Q&A, well, you've nicked my first question for you because I was going to ask you what else you'd be doing if you weren't doing this. So I'll give you another one. If you could collaborate, whether that be a co-write, a duet that you release, you're a guest on stage for one song only. Who is it? I'll give you three because it's always an hard question. I'll give you three.
Alive or dead?
Any. Oh, I know. Makes it harder.
It does make it harder. It does make it harder. Because as well, I have like my fantasy duet, not sexual, fantasy duet. But then you also got to think who you're going to blend with.
Yeah.
So I would immediately say Freddie Mercury, Queen.
Yeah.
But then I think, who's standing next to Freddie? He's
annihilate
he's gonna
anyone
eat you
coming
alive.
near. Yeah.
You're going to be like, walk on like I've won a competition. So I've got to think of someone who I feel like I could vibe with.
Yeah.
So my immediate gut reaction, and again, you might argue that she'd eat me alive, but I feel like Tina Turner.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because what I love about her, when you look at a lot of her early performances, when she was with the Ike and Turner review, she was constantly going over to our backing singers and like vibing with them and dancing. They'd all do the moves.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Tina was going to call on another female, she'd let them have their moment and then she'd come in. Yeah. And I naturally harmonise to her anyway because her voice is so high, so I can get a nice little third below. And I think to do something like River Deep, two big female voices, I think that would be pretty incredible. So that would be my first.
I'd like to see that.
I say Freddie is like the dream, but I feel like no one's duetting with Freddie. I just feel like it's just you do you, hon.
Yeah.
From the dead category, Elvis Presley.
Ooh.
And again, I don't think he did.
I won't try to sing any of his songs again.
Well, I don't think he did many duets. I know he sung famously with people like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that, but there was never really a big male-female duet. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
No, I can't.
But because he died so young as well, I just feel like the way his voice was, it would have been amazing to have a big male-female, like a song, like a love song. Yeah. Maybe not just go on and, duet crazy little bit of love, whatever, you know what I mean? But I think Elvis, Tina, and who's my third? I think Adele would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think she'd make you feel really at ease. I think there'd be no ego. I think she'd be like, come on, darling. Yeah. And I think when it comes to it, I think her voice is so incredible, but I think a nice little blended harmony. I've seen myself in a nice long black frock. Two little redheads, isn't it? I think it could be a thing. I think visually it could work. Yeah. But I think they'd be my three. I mean, I'm pretty easy. I'll duet with most people. Yeah. But in terms of the dream, and it'd have to be in Vegas. Side note, if it was me and Adele. To be fair, me and Elvis as well. And Tina. Got to be in Vegas. Take them all in Vegas. I'll take them all in Vegas. It could be Kezia Gill and friends.
So you got your own show duets now.
I'm doing it. But you know what? You have literally stolen one of my questions, so I'm going to fire that one right back at you.
Ooh. Right. Always Patsy Cline. would love to sing with
See, I
Patsy.
should have said that as well.
Yeah, Patsy would be my go-to. Because I feel like every time, I think I said this before, my way of Patsy is every word she sings, I feel her heart breaking, like proper emotional singer.
That's why I fell in love with her.
And the sass as well. A woman who ain't taking no shit.
Do you know she was the first woman to wear trousers on US television?
Really?
Yeah, it was a
See,
big.
I mean, she ain't taking any shit. She does what she wants.
Yeah,
I would love to have been able to even just see her, even just be in the same room as Patsy Clyde would have been amazing. And then, like, now it was about Carrie Underwood.
Oh,
I
you
would
and
love
Carrie
to sing with Carrie.
would slay.
No, a big ballady, rocky ballad, upbeat, you know, big
Something like
energy.
Church Bells
Yeah,
or Before
I'd
He
love
Cheats. Oh, think of the outfit.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I definitely wouldn't have my legs out though. There's no chance on earth I'd stand next to Carrie Underwood's legs in public.
Her legs are
Jesus
bionic.
Christ.
Bionic.
What's she doing? Squatting daily.
She said recently in a press interview that she works out now for her mental health, not for how she looks. I think she worked out a long time. You know, you've got to keep on top of it. And as we've spoken about before, people can be very, you know, opinionated when it comes to your looks as a musician. But she said she's not doing it for looks anymore. She's doing it for her own
that's nice.
personal well-being. So good on you, Carrie. But yeah, legs to die for.
To die for. So
I mean, you've not got a bad set of pins. You've got them out today.
Well, I've got them out. If anyone watching the visual, you'll notice I've got them out because I had a bit of tan on. Forgot to tell my face. So I'm Casper the Friendly Ghost up top.
I did make the comment. I said, do you know your face and legs
Spanish
are
Lolita on bottom.
But your legs look great. Your face looks great.
Love.
They just
Thanks,
look like they belong to different people.
It's fine. I'm here for it. You know what it is? I'm shit at being a girl. So like...
It's too high maintenance.
I ain't here for it. Give me a scruffy bun.
I mean, I've got like crimpy
pair of
hair
joggers
today, and it's because I slept in plaits, and it could have gone either way. It's turned out okay,
I
but
think it looks cute.
I could have looked like I'd just been swimming.
I thought I'd gone all out and I washed my hair last night.
It's maintenance, isn't it?
A big effort. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm shit
So
at
we
being a
got
girl.
Patsy Cline.
Got Patsy and Carrie. Who would be my third now? A lot of thought going on here. Do you know actually who I would? It's not wouldn't be go to, but we spoke about it before, and I actually think I'd love to duet with Lewis Capaldi.
I thought about
a little
that.
like ballad.
I think it'd have to be like I mean, his voice, his range.
That's what I mean. He's got a great range,
and he's got that like again. It's probably the same reason like Patsy. He's got that rawness, and he's got that gravel in his voice. Yeah,
I'd enjoy that.
That would be a fun duet. You two would be bants. Your TikTok
so Lewis,
channel.
if you're looking for a female to collaborate with, I just so happen to be free. Always.
Cancel my own wedding. Brilliant. Okay, so second question for you, Miss Helliwell. I'm going to extend this lyric or song, but if there was any lyric or song that you wish you had written, what would it be?
Oh shit, I'm on the spot now because there's so many. Oh, my favourite.
Go on.
Brandy Clark.
Yeah.
What'll keep me out of heaven will take me there tonight.
That is a line.
Shut up!
That is.
I've got goosebumps now.
It's about
what a line.
It's about an affair, isn't it?
So in the
love that
moment,
song.
it's gonna feel great, but is she sinning? Is she sinning? But she knows.
That's
what'll
a great
keep me out of heaven will
shout.
take me there tonight. What a line!
But what a writer as well.
Oh, don't get me started on Brandy. I'm a proper fangirl. She'd be one I'd like to duet.
Add it to the list.
Anyone,
man.
get on the list. Me, you, and Lewis. Let's do it.
That's a great one. What about a song? What about a song? If you could think,
So many, so fucking many. Probably Crazy. Obviously, Willie Nelson wrote Crazy, but that doesn't explain where everyone's felt that at some point.
Yeah.
Feeling like an absolute fool.
because I think as well, like the last kind of, I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit out of touch with this because I'm happily married, but like the word gaslighter has become like evident, and it's like it's a feeling where you feel like you're going crazy, and you feel like I should I be feeling this way, and it's like people spinning things to make you feel this way, and like I always I'm crazy for crying, I'm crazy for trying, and I'm crazy for loving you. She's obviously loving some guy who's just absolutely mucked her about, and I just think that is the first gaslighting song. It goes way back. It's like I am going crazy,
Definitely.
That's a song. That
Song and a half.
think
What
of the
would
money
yours
as well.
be?
Think of the Reddies.
the reason Willie's living the life he lives. And I looked like Willie Nelson the other day. I looked like, well, I'd no makeup on. My eyes were a bit puffy, so underneath I looked like I had bags, but because I had an allergic reaction to, I don't know, probably them fucking chickens at that place. And then I was doing your trick with braid. And Willie Nelson, come on, I just turned around. I went, why do I look like Willie Nelson listening to this song? But even Willie's version of it is so different. But again, you can proper hear the emotion. But he's one of a kind, in Willie Nelson. Like, no one else could sing like him. So effortless and like...
But it's funny, he's not really singing.
Yeah,
he's not like got a great singing voice. But
you're just like, ooh.
His writing, like he wrote one of my all-time favourite Elvis songs, Always on My Mind.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you hear Elvis sing it and it's just like velvet. But then when you hear Willie sing it, it's like it's telling you the story. And it almost makes it slightly more painful.
Yeah.
You know, when he just comes in at the end like, you were always on my mind.
Yeah, I'm like,
God, Willie, stop.
Willie, stop thinking about it, man.
You're killing me.
Innit? What would yours be? Lyric, song?
Okay. I'm going to do them all the way around because I've got the song.
Okay.
It's one we know very well. It's a song close to our hearts. And I wish I'd been smart enough to think about it and write it first. And it is the response to Jolene, which is, of course, Diane by Cam. So it's quite a new one. But I think being a redhead, I would be like the proverbial Jolene character. Yeah. And I just think it would have been such a fun song.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have never have written anything as good as Diane because that's just...
Oh, it's a great song.
For those of you that haven't heard the song, it's just basically saying, hang on a minute, love.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was married. He didn't say anything, you know, and it's like, if I could give you back all the nights that I took, I would. But I didn't know I was doing any wrong. And you've got to really speak to him here. So I just think that whole spin is brilliant and I wish I'd written it as Jolene, basically. Yeah. So that would be my song. And I think lyrically, again, I've said many times, big Elvis Presley fan. And there's a song that he sings and the last line of the song is, if I can dream, why don't my dreams come true right now? And it's like, it was actually a political song, but it's probably a close draw with Somewhere Over the Rainbow. If happy little bluebirds fly, why can't I? And it's what we talked about in the last episode, like, all we have are our dreams. Yeah. We can work hard, we can do everything we're supposed to, and it's not guaranteed. There's a million other people doing it. I mean, the stats of people putting music on Spotify these days, it's just crazy. Yeah. We are one of millions making our own music and hoping that people will listen to it. All we have are our dreams. So I feel like that big last line, when he says, if I can dream, why don't my dreams come true? It hits me every time. And I can be doing anything, I can be in the best mood and I always get a little tear.
Oh.
Because do you know the song I'm talking about?
I feel like I do.
It's got the big orchestration. Yeah. If I can dream, why can't my dreams come true right now? And all the orchestra comes in. And it's just, and it shivers all over my body. And I'm like, that line will never not affect me.
Yeah.
So
I think there's also like music like those, when you just said the orchestra, I got goosebumps. There's something about that era of music, it's like the big orchestra, stabs coming in and like the string section. I'm just like, that's proper music. Like,
but I mean, the crazy thing is, like, everyone seemed to do it back then. Everyone seemed to record with orchestras and these great big productions. And I was watching an old BBC 4. I'm like, wait. I've got a creaky chair as well. But I was watching a BBC 4 documentary and it had Frank Sinatra on. And some of the shows he did, they're like the orchestra pits were humongous. And, you know, like singing a song like New York. Imagine. Can you imagine? That is such a dream for me. To sing with an orchestra.
I'm slightly obsessed with Judy Garland. Love Judy. And like her residency she did in London, like, right at the end of her life. Imagine being in an audience for that. What are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm catching Judy's show. So I feel like it's the same as like the Adele show in Vegas at the minute. It was Judy in London. I forgot what venue it was. Was it the Royal Albert Hall?
I don't know.
I'll have to Google that part. If you know,
it'd be the Palladium or the Royal Albert. I'm sure it
might be the Palladium actually. Yeah. But she did like a residence for months, but like she wasn't very well at the time, so some of the shows were not okay. Yeah. And she didn't turn up and stuff, but some of them were brilliant.
They covered that in the film, didn't they? The biopic of her life.
Yeah. But I feel like her shows are like, even like if you catch some of the specials from a bit later on in life, like when she did, and she'd go still sing like Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Imagine seeing Judy Garland sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow with an orchestra.
Can you imagine? Do you know she was 14 in that film?
Madness, innit?
You watch it, but she doesn't look 14.
No.
But like some of the, I mean, we talk about being under pressure as women. Yeah. She was on a diet, measured and weighed like twice a week, and if she put on so much as half a pound, she was on like literally like.
Yeah. Well, they say that that's why she had such a struggle in the end with drugs and alcohol, because she was ploughed with it as a child, basically.
Yeah.
To make her go and do a job like as a kid.
And that's the thing. Like I know people might think we're harping on about women in the industry. I bet blokes weren't measured. Yeah. And put on a diet. You know, Dick Van Dyke put on a few pounds.
Yeah.
Although you. Don't want to be bothered about that.
Frank, well, brother Elvis.
Well.
But it wasn't the same backlash.
No, it wasn't.
As a woman to get. No chance. No chance.
God love Judy.
Judy Garland,
You'd play a very good Judy.
Don't get me started, because I've been plotting a show for years. I just yet to make it happen.
Manifest it. Make it happen.
To Judy.
Right, we've got one more question left.
Ooh. I hadn't thought now, because I was going to ask you what you'd do.
So I tell you what then. We've talked about our idea of our dream show.
Yeah.
Let's say we're given a magic wand, like a fairy wand, and said, I am going to make one thing come true for you right here, right now. One thing. What would your one thing be?
I don't think I'd take like one big moment. I'd be greedy, but also resourceful. And I'd ask for like a long, successful career. Because that could be anything then. Success, whatever you take.
That's a great shout. That is a great...
I wouldn't be like, oh, glasses me, because I could be yesterday's news 2 years afterwards, but a long successful career. That shit'll see me to grave. Financially stable. I'm hitting all the hits I want to hit. You know, my music's being streamed. I'm playing the shows I want to play. That's how I'd screw the genie.
So speaking of questions, I think something that we've both been asked before is like, what would our advice be to people on the up? But I always think it's nice to put a spin on it and say, what would you tell your younger self?
God, where do you start? I think I would say like, just be, when you think about handing in that notice and going full time, don't just stay with I'm joking. I would definitely just say like, be a bit easier on yourself, like, and enjoy the things that happen when they're happening, rather than, as we said, it's a bit of a toxic thing really, that you can't enjoy it because you're stressed. Well, I mean, you do, but like, you don't fully be like, this is great, what's happening right now, and then by the time it's over, you're thinking the next thing. Like, just soak up and enjoy that thing, and then start thinking about the next thing.
That's great.
Because that's
advice.
Definitely something I struggle with at the minute.
That's actually advice that people around me have been giving me lately. In the last few years, when I've had a bit of a trajectory rise, and I was getting very stressed out about it, and a bit, like I say, the pressure. Are people going to buy tickets? Are people going to come? Am I going to let people down? And it just I feel like when I'm in that kind of funk, it's all on me. Like, no one can help me. No one else can get in. And I have an amazing team around me, not team, but like family, friends, network. And they all used to they still do say to me all the time, like just look at how far you've come, what you've achieved. And I've got to say, like, even at the C2C, when I felt like that was really like a highlight of my career, I was really freaking out. But then my husband Lloyd said, if this is as big as it ever gets, you're doing what you always dreamed you would do. It was like, so don't worry if it never gets any bigger. You sell out shows, you sing your own music for a living, people buy and stream your music. You're able to now you don't have to sing full time in pubs and clubs and things like that anymore. You're already doing what you dreamt you would do. So don't, if this is it today, it never gets any bigger, you're still there.
See, 7-year-old reach for the Stars Songwriter of the Year, Kezia. Little mind would be blown if she could see it now.
That's the thing, and I think again that's such good advice, to just don't concentrate on the destination so much and just look out the window, enjoy the journey. I heard a beautiful song, and again, this is a terrible reference because I can't remember what it was called or who it was by, but it was on the radio this week, and it was about climbing a ladder, and it was like, this ladder, you're concentrating all the time on looking at the next rung, and then when you get to the top, it's nowhere near as much fun as the way up.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just up there then.
Yeah.
I think actually all the fun you had was on the way up. I'll have to dig this song out and find it for you. And I think that's the thing. I think we are right here, right now, actually doing everything we always dreamed we would.
Yeah.
At whatever level that is. It's some days it's hard, some days it's really hard, but other times it's bloody great. I mean, look at us right now.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday afternoon.
We're having a jam.
Sup in a jam shed.
Recording a podcast. We're going to go to a pub after.
Of course we are.
Celebrate a series of podcasts.
You know, 4 or 5 years ago, we probably wouldn't have had the audience to do a podcast. So I think it's like, in terms of like looking back at my younger self, I'd be like, you be you.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
Because again, I'd always think I'd have to be what people want me to be. I think keep it real, be you, and enjoy the fucking ride.
Absolutely.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
It's a cheers moment, wasn't it, that?
It must be a great segue into Miley Cyrus to climb.
If only we had the licence, the piano could just come in. It is hard. I mean, I actually have to physically give myself advice daily.
Yeah.
Because like I talked about on the last podcast about my imposter syndrome, I have to like look myself in the eye in the mirror and be like, stop it. Stop. Just stop it.
I am so inappropriate when you said, look, I've just got that Paul Rudd scene in my what film was it? It's Paul Rudd and it's in mirror. She's going, take that. She's going, take it.
What film is that?
Is it? Oh, what is it?
I mean, Paul Rudd's brilliant anyway.
God. Literally that, but it's still, that's years since I feel like it's still a meme constantly on my Instagram.
I always find there's 2 times I talk to myself in the mirror. One is when I'm trying to convince myself I'm not drunk. And I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, but it's like, especially when you go to toilets that have got like, you know, their own private sink and mirror in the cubicle, so there's not other people waiting.
So it's got a bit of a dim light on
and you're
there.
like, wash your hands, bit of water on the back of the neck. And you're like leaning on the sink and you look up and you look yourself and you go, you're all right.
Yeah, pull yourself together.
Just pull yourself together. You're fine. You just need to not have any more shots. And you have that little word for yourself. Then you go out freshly applied and feel like a new woman. You've had your chat.
There's no disguising it when I'm drunk. If I'm drunk, everybody knows about it. And then I start suffering with anxiety.
Hiding it, and then I watch videos back.
Yes. Wow.
Like, well, at what point during my breakdancing routine was I hiding how drunk I was?
That's it. And my mum's still like, I'm a grown-ass woman, and when I go out, she'll still text and say, don't get drunk and don't be breakdancing, don't do the worm. My mum, the worm's been retired for years. I don't do it anymore, but I can't make any promises that I won't try to throw out the screwdriver, okay?
I remember one of the first times that we properly hung out, and it was at a festival, and right at the end of it, I think we'd both done our gigs, we'd finished, and we'd gone to like the after party, and there was where was it? I'm not going to say. I'm going to protect both you and the festival at this point. But there was a breakdancing incident. The owners weren't happy. It's just come to you. And I just remember standing at the side going, what a woman.
Yeah, I remember it well. But that's not the only festival. This is why I was like, which festival? Because I know there's been
a breakdancer.
We once went to a festival and there were an after party and it was like a school disco, like everyone two-stepping around. I'd only been with Luke about a week. And I was like, watch this. Like it was going to be impressive. And I went cartwheeling into the centre. Started doing crab. No, you like touch one. What I thought everyone here is going to be like, not only can she sing, so someone's signing up. Get it on Britain's Got Talent.
Do you know what? I love dancing.
I do. I'm so bad at it.
How people dance and sing at the same time, I will never know. Because I go to dance aerobics at my gym and I love it. And I'm a hot, sweaty mess by the end of it. Yeah. And sometimes I'll try, because we do it to like, we have like disco nights, we have 80s nights. Sometimes I'll try and sing along. It's a classic example. The other week we're doing Jump for My Love, little jumping routine. Yeah. And I thought, if you could hear my audio. Yeah.
Well, I prep for festivals singing at top of my lungs, star jumping.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because your show's quite active, isn't it?
It's a lot, you know. And my mum, again, will give me advice. She'll say, don't come on all guns blazing, singing and dancing your lungs out first song because you'll run out of breath, you'll never get it back. And it's because it's true. So I have to warn myself. But the problem is I'm just so fucking excited. So when I get on there, I come straight, I'm like, hi guys! Like, dead excited, song 1, song 2, I'm like,
And
so I have to prep with
no time to pull it back,
months
is there?
Before,
when
months.
Like literally the guitar intro for the next song starting and you're thinking
yeah. When people think she ain't chatting much, trying to breathe, love. Trying to breathe.
Oh, I'm glad it's not just me.
Oh yeah, I'm shit.
Would you ever, if you got the chance to do like, you know, these like massive theatre productions, you know, where there's like literally, I mean, they were talking about it this morning for Eurovision and all like the staging, and there's going to be something like 8,000 dancers in Liverpool, literally just for the semi-finals and the finals and the shows and everything. Something crazy like that for staging. And would you want all that? Or are you
dancers and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
Oh, in an ideal world, I'd have 3 backup singers, you know,
Yeah.
like the old Motown style, stood next to each other doing this, mics on
moves,
stands.
yeah.
I'd have that going on every show. And I'd love like backing dancers where occasionally I might join them and do a bit of summer. I'm talking like full arena production. In my head, if I had the money, that's the show I'd be putting on.
Would you have a Britney mic?
No. I had one when I was a kid, you know. My mum bought me, not a proper one, my mum bought me. It was some, can't remember what it was, one Christmas, my mum, Santa, bought me it. It was a little head mic, little pink foam.
Oh, I love
plugged
that.
into a little pack on your pocket. And then the other part of it plugged into your little karaoke machine. So that you could, I was there in my bedroom.
Giving it.
Dancing around.
Listen, it worked for Garth Brooks.
Sometimes I run, sometimes.
He like gets winched in playing his guitar with his little radio mic.
Stop it, 'cause I can't cope with that. It's too much.
See, I look at people like Pink and
how's she singing upside down?
Unbelievable. She literally trapezes across
Again,
stadiums.
it comes down to they definitely like work out a lot, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen that video of Miley Cyrus running on a treadmill, singing top of her lungs? Then she jumps off and she starts like star jumping and going all the time. She's not perfect, and that's how she trains for the shows. And I thought, you know what? It tells. Have you seen that artwork for her album? She looks incredible.
Well, the workout scene in her video Flowers.
Yeah, even that.
I was like, you could break an egg on that stomach.
Honestly, Google it, Miley Cyrus. I can't remember. It's something like, might be like a Super Bowl thing or something she did.
Yeah.
And she's prepping for it, and there's a video that she put out. My God. I thought, that's where I need to get.
See, I'm in the thick at the minute of trying to get back into summer shape. Like I love my fitness. I go to the gym a lot, and I love all kinds of fitness. So weight training, cardio. I love dance, just walking as well. Like I do really enjoy it, but I also love food.
Oh God, yeah.
And I love beer, and that has always been my downfall.
Yeah.
I love a whiskey, and I've got a very sweet tooth. My God, don't leave a pack of biscuits in my house because I can't just have one.
Same. You know when people go, oh no, you're either sweet or savoury? I'm all of it. I was saying, we've been at an end of this weekend. I said, there's not a snack I don't like.
I texted her
to find
I said,
it.
look, I'm going to go and get some bits. Get some picky bits for the cabin. What do you want me to get? Like crisps, flavour. And I was like, yeah, flavours, types. She literally said, anything.
I says, I'm yet to find a brand or flavour I'll turn my nose up at. You knock yourself out, I'll eat it. And that's my downfall.
Honestly, I could quite easily eat a box of Jaffa cakes.
Oh, 100%. I got myself a little mini pack from vending machine at hotel the other night. Banging. Got in.
I love that.
Little Jaffa cake in bed. Whew.
But because I eat like that, and again, like being on the road and being, you know, it's not an easy diet when you're on the road. Like sometimes I've come to gigs and I've made up a salad and stuff like that, but it's not realistic. No. If you're on like a 2-week tour.
Yeah, there's nowhere to store your food. Because I've had friends say, secret is to, what's it called? Prep.
Yeah.
Prep your food, like Sunday night, prep your meals. I'm like, that's all good and well, but what if I'm a different city each night for the next 4 nights? Where am I putting that? There's no fridge in the Premier Inn. Where am I putting that food? Where am I warming it up and eating it? So you got no choice. And most services, you're happy if you find an M&S, not at prices, but at what's on offer. But most places like a Mackey's, a KFC.
Well, this is the thing, and there's always the argument that the healthy food is there, and it absolutely is. Even if you
found it.
You know, well, if you went to, it's there. Trust me, but it's what do you want to eat? If you're somewhere and you think, oh, I'm starving, you know, it was a late night, we've got another big show.
Stick.
Do you want a salad, you know, and a few prawns, or do you want a Burger King Big Mac?
Exactly.
You know, what are you going to have? And that's the thing. So I've told myself, you know, me and Lloyd have booked this little holiday. So I want to get like bikini ready. And I've got a few shows coming up in the summer. But once again, I've come down here today.
Jammers is out.
Open.
But you know what? I'm always on the fence. I proper swing between both things. So the one side of me is like, I've definitely gained weight. Like, I've had to buy bigger clothes. No fits me. I've lost count of how many breakdowns I've had this month over trying to find outfits for weddings and realising not a single dress fits anymore. But then the other side of me thinks, but I'm happy. And on that note, I'm happy this podcast has been so much fun.
I'm happy we finally made it happen.
Me too.
Talked about it a long time.
Long bloody time.
I like to think people will be interested in what goes on behind the scenes because we've said before, like we like to show a facade, we like to show a smoke and mirrors, we like to show that everything's cool, everything's rosy, and that we're always happy and we're always confident, and we are for a lot of it. But the truth, is
we're also very stressed.
It's tough, it's stress, it's a slog, but we do it because we love it, don't we?
Absolutely, wouldn't do anything else.
Being able to share it with you all, like, has been really nice. And and as well, if we take it right back to the reason we called it, do you know any Oasis?
All those years from being a child of the same things being asked.
People will come up to you after a gig, won't they? I mean, that was always the top one, and that's why we both laughed and decided to call to call the podcast that. Because it'd be like, oh yeah, you know, you're great. Your own songs are great, and I love your writing. I love what you're about. But go on, you do the accent.
Do you know any Oasis?
You think of all the things. I remember I'd turn up for a gig and they'd say, right, you set times, 8 while 8:30, 9 while 9:30, 10 while 10:30, and we have to stop bang on because we have bingo. Like, God forbid you're playing to the bingo time.
God forbid you win the meat raffle.
Oh, the looks you'd get. Because I like a game of bingo. And I'd be like, oh, you know, I'll buy a ticket. But if you win, the daggers.
Name's Mud.
I used to love the old clubs, and I know for a fact that you still get them, where in the dressing room, they have a sign on the wall.
Know what's coming.
3-song encore, 1 fast, 1 medium, 1 slow.
I was going to talk about the sign that says, what's it called? I need to think of the way they name the song. Like the band songs, do not play. 24 years. What is
Living
it?
Next Door
Smoking.
to
Living next door. Do not play Living Next Door to Alice in this club. Band.
Honestly, there's always some sign up from like Consec on the wall. You know, do not make a noise as you're leaving.
No smoke machines.
No smoke machines. Do not play over as we have games. Jack in the box, higher or lower.
Play your cards right. You know what? I get sucked in though, me. I'm like, higher.
Well, you know what? It's gone full circle because even though I don't work in the clubs anymore, we've got a couple of great clubs
You've
near
taken us to your local club.
Yeah.
Great. I have taken to my local club.
I know. I love your local club needs a shout out.
Big up Batley Nash.
What
Batley Nash move with times. This is the thing.
Is it actually an Irish Democratic Society?
Irish Democratic League club.
And we've done a couple of St Patrick's Days there, haven't we? And we've done a couple of karaoke nights.
Have we?
It's a great club.
But like you said,
it has moved with the times.
They do bingo, but it's for, it's like a Wednesday night for folk who want to go down. They're not doing bingo, in between singing and stuff like that. They have music, they have live bands, they have psychic nights, they have comedians, they have tributes. They are constantly, it seems, redecorating it so it's very modern and nice inside, new bathrooms.
Fresh carpets.
Yeah.
Well, after the smoking ban, everyone had to have new carpets. I'm not being funny. You'd walk in a pub and you'd go, what is that smell?
Mad that, innit?
Oh, they stunk. And like from all the many years of spilt beer. Yeah. But when everyone was smoking, you'd never smell it. And then the minute the smoking ban came in, it was like, wow, get them carpets ripped.
Get them ripped up.
The years of vomit and broken dreams just absorbed by the fibres. But I think what's nice is we speak so affectionately about that era of our lives because we did it. And we came up through the ranks. And even now, like last minute, if things started to go wrong and perhaps, things took a turn.
Sunday afternoon with me.
Back to the clubs.
Back to the meet.
I'm going straight back to the clubs if it all goes wrong.
I've started writing a song about the working men's. I think I played you a clip.
I can't wait for
The
the world to hear
weekend.
it. Well, after your
We'll
Hot Tub
see.
song, which was a little comedy song Jade wrote for the Girls' Night In tour, we've got
This is a
ourselves a
follow-up.
little Victoria Wood on
Follow-up.
our hands here, I think.
Trying, Anna. Trying. No, the thing is, basically, as you could probably tell, I love telling a story. This is my issue. I love telling a tale. But like some people, sometimes like we saw Luke, will say, "Get to the point."
Which is why
Just get to the
which is why you're the perfect person to do a podcast with. Because at the start, I was thinking, what if we run out of things to say?
Never. Impossible.
And on that note, folks, we are going to love you and leave
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know if you want us to come back, do it again.
Yeah,
we'd
we-
love to.
you. We read all your comments and you've been super supportive. So thank you so much for tuning in. You can subscribe and let us know if you want a series 2. I'm here for it.
I'm definitely here for it. Cheers to that.
Cheers, Ducky. So from me, Kezia Gill,
And me, Jade Helliwell.
we've just got one question for you.
Do you know any Oasis?
Thank you so much for listening.
If you have enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to hit subscribe and follow us on social media.